This is the Corner of Soul.
Hey, this is Moochies.
Hi, this is Ria Black.
And together we are Metronome.
You're tuned into the Corner of Soul with Brino Soul on Vow FM. Enjoy.
Corner of Soul guest mix.
up? This is Vinny Da Vinci right here on the Corner of Soul with my man, Brino Soul.
This is Ria Black.
And together we are Metronome.
You're tuned into the Corner of Soul with Brino Soul.
On your radio and online. This is Vow 88.1.
Vow 88.1.
Yeah, what's up? This is DJ Christos, and you're listening to The Corner of Soul with my man Reno Soul on VOW 88.1.
Reno Soul on VOW 88.1.
Corner of Soul guest mix.
were good, kid. Real good.
Real Soul on Vow 88.1.
Somebody stop me.
Vow 88.1.
Corner of Soul exclusive.
You were good, kid. Real good.
Real Soul on Vow 88.1.
Somebody stop me.
Corner of Soul exclusive.
This is Moochies.
Hi, this is Ria Black.
And together we are Metronome. Tuned into the Corner of Soul with Brino Soul.
And online. This is Vow 88.1.
Corner of Soul guest mix.
Brino Soul on Vow 88.1.
This is Moochies.
Hi, this is Rhea Black.
And together with Metronome, tune into the Corner of Soul with Brino Soul.
And yes, this is the Corner of Soul with Brino Soul, the character of Ningiza. And hey, between 5 and 6 o'clock, we get to experience the purest of house music. And the month of May is dedicated to Back-to-Back. What is Back-to-Back? Man, it's two or more DJs that are playing Back-to-Back. So we have the genesis of the Back-to-Back in the month of May. They are here, beautiful ladies coming through. They are better known as Metronome, Rhea and Moochies. Ladies! Hi. How are you?
Siyaphila ninjani?
Siyaphila. Hey, Moochies ukhuluma isiZulu.
Angisho ngiku-radio.
Hey.
Ngithengise nami.
Surely you might have maybe a crush who's coming from Soweto. Who knows? You might.
My mind.
I mean, you're in Joburg after all.
I mean,
Hey, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
So delighted to have you guys. I'm so delighted. Though it was short, but it was meaningful.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting us.
Hey.
Pleased to be here.
What is Metronome? Or who is Metronome?
Metronome is Rhea Black and Moochies. The female DJ Toshapa number massive.
Hey.
That's who Metronome is.
So why the name Metronome, first of all?
Phew. Subs gave us this name, DJ Subs.
Subs?
Yeah.
Yes. Hey.
So we were having a conversation that, we're thinking of becoming a duo, but we don't know what to call ourselves. And he thought, guys, Metronome would actually be such a cool name for you guys.
Oh, okay.
And then we just ran with it.
Baby, didn't you ask him what was like the significance behind the Metronome?
So if I remember the story correctly, he was supposed to have a duo with, I don't know if I should mention the name. I'm not going to mention the name. With another DJ producer. So I think things didn't really work out. They decided to go, I think they hadn't even started yet. It was just a concept that they had spoken about, but it never materialized. So then he was like, actually, you can have the name. And we took and ran with it.
Now, Moochies, let's start to actually where it all began as Moochies. I don't know where you grew up, but I suppose somewhere in Limpopo.
Everybody supposes that.
Where is that?
For some odd reason. I don't know. But
where are you from?
I am from Siyabuswa in Mpumalanga.
Okay. But that's like in the border of Limpopo.
Yeah, it is. It is the border. So I guess maybe that's also why people assume that I'm from there. Maybe also the language. Yeah. But I am Pedi/Ndebele, so...
Oh, yeah, Ragat.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I'm Khajwin. And for you, Rhea?
Nake Mopedi.
Twi.
O Motala. Wago Beresford Limpopo. Yeah.
Beresford, go out up BMX.
Yes.
That's so.
Representing.
And how did you become a DJ?
I come from a family that loves music.
Yeah.
And then my sister's partner had CDJs. He's actually a DJ. Back at home. So from high school, I'd go to my sister's house. Right. He'd lock me up in the garage. I'd do it until you can do it. Until.
This is when?
From both 2012, 13. Yeah, and then parents were worried to lose a focus. Then I took a bit of a break, and then 2015, 16, then I came back.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the lineage continued after that, because somewhere within your musical journey, you managed to find a partner.
Yeah. You must go to groove, guys.
So, go to groove, you'll find yourself a partner. So, yeah, man. Now, let's talk about, because the other day, I was watching this YouTube channel, Bread for Soul. Managed to find one of your videos, but the music was a bit different. Now, I was wondering, okay, I know Muchis and Ria on Soulful, but now why the change of tunes? Tell me more about that.
So as a duo, we sat down and had a conversation to say that we wanted to be a bit more versatile in terms of the way we present our music. I mean, people know us as deep house DJs,
right?
Like originally, and we still play deep house, just like we just played now, right? But we also wanted to tap into other markets that are also growing at the moment, which happen to be Afro House. Afro House, 3-step, that market is also growing. So it was like, okay, let's try this out and see how far we can get. So that was actually our debut mix. Like, yeah, that was.
And it was flowing, by the way.
It was, right?
It was flowing.
Because Metronome.
Yeah. Shout out to Subs, by the way, for bringing us this Metronome too.
So, yeah, it was basically, it's that in essence.
Now, tell me about, the preparation behind going to a gig as a duo Metronome. How do you actually plan your sets from one event to another?
Sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
So you just go with what you see in the environment.
Yeah, we just get there and we know, I mean, we've been in these different spaces and we know some of the venues and what the market is. So based on that, or even just doing research, like if we're going to a place for the first time, it's also just about checking out the page at the venue or whatever, just to see what the vibe is like, the crowd and the like previous DJs that have been there before, just to get a feel. And then when we get there, I mean, we buy music and then we upload it. We have like a shared folder we upload our music. So each of us will upload whatever we bought and then we'll both go through the music during our own time. And then we'll put music together for the day and then get to the gig and rock.
Bruno, today, it's the best guest in Fana, Razin, Black Park, and Muchis, the best yellow bone in the town.
Just DJs, siyabonga bafethu yonke into right nebhakaniya limhlophe siyabonga limhlophe nani nisiphethe kahle. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, it was all coming well up until you mentioned Ibagania. But anyway, we'll survive. Come next weekend, we'll do it again. Actually, we'll do it. Don't worry. We are heading for, a trophy triumph. So yeah, which is now, guys. How do you handle such, fans when they give you so much love, especially from the male point of view? I mean, a little crush, right? Come on, Aria, it's fine. She's married now.
Married people don't have crushes.
How? No? Everybody has a crush. Yeah. A crush is a normal thing to have. I think for me, I just really appreciate the love. I actually, now that you're speaking about it, I got a DM from someone last night and they were telling me about, I've been following you since this time and just know that there's this person somewhere that's supporting everything you do. And for me, it's always so humbling to receive that kind of love, It just shows that people appreciate what we do and it just keeps us going also.
Wow, man. Guys, I'm so ecstatic, man. Your presence is so meaningful to the Corner of Soul. And you brought, fire. As always.
I'm sure we wanted to console you for your loss, unfortunate loss.
It's a pity because we're on radio. Really unfair. Yay! Once again. But anyway, it's fine, man. We'll survive. Okay. We still have another chance, by the way.
Yeah.
Next weekend.
All the best.
What's your favorite team?
I mean, I don't do sports.
You don't do soccer?
So I can't handle. So I'd rather not. I don't support any.
That's why I will sing it.
Oh.
Ria, when?
I'm a seasonal supporter, Sundowns.
Hey?
Seasonal. I'm not very loyal.
From best to worst. Anyway, Didimala again. Didimala wanna go Pitur. It's fine. We'll survive. Man, we are just 30 seconds away. Where do we find you on socials?
You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. It's at Metronome_DJs on Instagram and Metronome DJs on Facebook. And then obviously you can also find our individual pages on Instagram, X, TikTok, Facebook, everywhere. Just search for us. As you know us. Yeah, Metronome.
Shout out to you guys.
Thank you.
See you on the other side.
Danko.
My name is Brino Soul, the character of Ningiza. This has been the Corner of Soul between 2 and 6 o'clock. Check you out next weekend between 2 and 6.